Zacian is out in Pokemon Go, but should we raid for it? How good is it? I know the shiny looks absolutely fantastic, but is it worth your time, energy, and effort to go after in Pokemon Go? Well, let's find out in this video. So, welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Zacian, hero of many battles, is different than the Crown Sword Zacian, okay? So there's two different forms of Zacian, and the Crown Sword, I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of a hint here before we get into this video, is a bit stronger and a bit more of a beast as compared to this one, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth our time and effort. And also, I'm gonna put this out there, that they're more than likely gonna share the exact same XL candy and regular candy for this Pokemon. So having this Pokemon stocked up, having the candy, having this one shinies before whenever the other one comes out, I'm not really sure exactly how they're gonna handle it. Will it be its complete own form, or will it do something like the Necrozma? I'm not super versed on the Sword and Shield. If you guys do know, please drop in the comments and let everybody know that is not aware of how this may happen. So let's get into Zacian right now, because this Pokemon, I like it. The shiny looks great, but is it worth powering up in regular attacker mode or in PvP? So this Pokemon is an all fairy type. It's going to max out at 4,329. So yes, it does max pretty high. It has an attack of 254, a defense of 236, and a stamina of 192. So its attack is pretty good, and it's honestly not really lacking in too many categories. As far as its weakness, it's going to be weak to two things, which is going to be steel and poison, as you guys do see in the counter guide. If you want to see that up there, you can check it. Also, if you guys do want more raid battles, please check in the comments below, jump into the Discord, get free raid battles, or you can jump into the Patreon in the higher ranks of the Discord and even be my friend. I'm very excited about this Zacian coming into the game. As far as the resistances, it's going to double resist Dragon and single resist Bug, Dark, and Fighting. So actually some pretty good resistances on this Pokemon. And then everything else, all the other typings that you haven't seen here are going to be neutral. So that's going to be something that we obviously have to take into account, especially when we're going after with this Pokemon in PvP. As far as its regular moves, its fast moves, it's going to get Quick Attack, Metal Claw, Fire Fang, and Snarl. The only problem of this Pokemon, by not being a better fairy type attacker, is, as you guys can see, it does not get a fairy fast move, which is a little bit of a problem for this Pokemon. I'm always curious, like, you have these typings in this game, why can you not get this Pokemon to have this specific move on it? I just don't quite get it. I mean, I understand as far as the meta goes, but if you want to ban certain moves in PvP and so forth, why don't you just do so and allow it to still have this as a meta attacker standpoint? That's one of the things that I would really love to see in the game, which then moves us into the charge moves. It will get Iron Head, Close Combat, Wild Charge, and then it also gets a fairy move of Play Rough. So at least it has one of the two, being that, you know, I don't know, because in PvP, you really want a, let's say, Charm coming on that fairy move. I'd say would probably be the recommended moveset if we had that available to this Pokemon. But Play Rough also does well, but since it does get quite a bit of diverse moves, it makes it quite a Swiss Army knife in PvP. So with that said, let's check it out as a DPS times TDO, which is going to be how much damage and how much tankiness this Pokemon has against itself, and we'll also compare it to the Crown Sword right now. At the top, we have the Zacian Crown Sword with Metal Claw and Play Rough, 53.54. And I think they are assuming that both of these Pokemon are going to get the exact same moves, which maybe can be assumed, but also at the same time, more than likely, it will not. So while this Pokemon does seem to be a bit stronger, it could always get a nerf in the move, a different moveset that might make it not quite as good. Then we have the Wild Charge on this Pokemon at 52.11, which then we're going to go down and see the Metal Claw and Play Rough at 43.9, followed by the Crown Sword and then the Hero Mini Battles with the Metal Claw and Wild Charge at 42.43, which, with an electric move, that's actually pretty powerful. So with that said, where is it going to sit in the fairy category? And then we're also going to check it out in the electric category. So looking at the top, guys, we have the Zacian with the Crown Sword, if it does get Play Rough, at 53.54. Then the Mega Gardevoir with Dazzling Gleam at 49.33. And I had no idea that Tapu Lele with Nature Madness made it this strong at 45.3. But then if we go to the fourth strongest in the game, is going to be the Zacian Hero of Many Battles with the Play Rough Metal Claw at 43.9. And the Crown Sword is not out yet, so that makes the third strongest in the game right now, and I had no idea that that Tapu Lele was quite that strong. Did you guys know that? Then we have the Bulu and the Coco. Apparently Nature's Madness is an absolutely insane move for these Pokemon at 42.29 and 42.15. Maybe need to max out one of these Pokemon. Then we have the Shadow Gardevoir at 40.93, the Mega Diancie at 40.55, Annie Namorass at 38.82, and then if you go down the list, you can find the Xerneas with double Fairy at 37.21, and the Togekiss with the Dazzling Gleam at 36.85. So the Zacian, as far as a meta attacker, is extremely strong. I would prefer that you guys do power this Pokemon up as a lucky Pokemon, because you're going to save a bunch of Stardust, but if you actually get the hundo from the raid, I've already powered mine up, so might be in your best interest too. This Pokemon is definitely worth powering up from a meta attacker standpoint. Same with that Tapu Lele. I cannot believe that that Pokemon sits so incredibly high. So from a meta attacker standpoint, I'm giving this an absolute thumbs up, especially because the Crown Sword is assuming that it gets the exact same moveset, which I don't think we can make that assumption as of right now. And also, let's check it out in the electric category with just a charge move of Wild Charge, because like we covered in the beginning, it did look pretty good. With the electric charge move, we have Primal Kyogre with Thunder at 55.3, then we have Mewtwo Y and X coming in next at 54 and 52, then the Zacian Crown Sword at 52.11, Shadow Magnezone actually really good with that Wild Charge at 50.06, and Shadow Raikou, which is below it, at 49.34, followed by Berserkatry with the Discharge at 48.76, Mega Manectric, and Shadow Mewtwo right in there, followed by the Luxray, the Electivire, and the Zekrom at 47.52, and if we keep going down the list, we can all the way until quite far down there, guys, but it is right below the regular Raikou at 42.43. So for the electric category, it might not be the most recommended, but you can multi-purpose it, as it is the strongest second move on that Pokemon from a meta attacker standpoint. So it might be recommended in some situations. Which then leads us into PvP. Where is this Pokemon going to sit? In the Ultra League, it's going to be 382. So this Pokemon, unfortunately, is not great in the Ultra League. It does not qualify there for the Great League because it cannot get low enough. But just as a reminder, guys, this Pokemon eventually will more than likely get a Shadow version of it, which will make it extremely strong as far as a regular Pokemon. This is absolutely where it sits right now. And then in the Master League, it's gonna sit at 36 with Quick Attack, Close Combat, and Play Rough. Wow, that's pretty good. But does it stack up against other fairy types? In the #1 spot, we have Florges. The reason why I like Florges is it's a budget counter, and it's rank 9. Wow, how much better does it get than that? You can power it up for a budget amount of XL candy and regular candy without having to sacrifice and raid for it and pay money for that Pokemon. That gives it a A+ for me. Then we have Xerneas in 16, Enamorus in 27, Tapu Lele in 28, and then the Zacian in 36. So is it the best Pokemon? No. Do people use it? Yes. And it also gets multiple different movesets. So if you guys do want to use it, it is definitely worth your time, and it's in the top 50, and you can multi-purpose that Pokemon. So it does serve a very good purpose. So as far as this Pokemon in Pokemon Go, I love it. I think it's great. Remember, in PvP, you do have a budget counter that makes it better than this Pokemon, which is something to consider. And the other consideration you have to take into account is that the Mega Gardevoir is a budget counter, but you can only have one. Shadow Gardevoir is very good. Tapu Lele is extremely good as well. So you have multiple options, but I still like this Pokemon. I'm still rating for it, and I'm still looking for that shiny, hopefully a good one so I can max it, because I already have the max hundo. I would love to max, especially because this blue is one of my favorites in Pokemon Go. So there you have it, Zacian, hero of many battles in Pokemon Go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and what will happen to the Crown Sword and how will we get there in Pokemon Go. Thank you guys for being here as always. Love and appreciate you guys. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to XL. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.